Scorpio, the energy surrounding you on March 12th carries a quiet intensity that feels different from an ordinary day. The rhythm of the morning may look familiar, the conversations around you may sound ordinary, yet something deeper moves beneath the surface like a current flowing through still water. For Scorpio, moments like this often arrive softly, almost whispering through instinct, rather than announcing themselves loudly. March 12th opens with a subtle shift in the atmosphere around Scorpio, a feeling that certain pieces within your life have begun adjusting their position. Nothing appears dramatic at first glance, yet within the deeper layers of experience, a quiet alignment begins forming, as if invisible threads are slowly drawing events, people, and realizations into a new pattern. Scorpio carries a rare sensitivity to these movements. Where others move through the day without noticing the emotional texture of a moment, Scorpio senses the slight change in tone, the pause between words, the energy that lingers after a conversation ends. Your intuition functions like a silent radar, scanning the emotional landscape and detecting signals that many people overlook. Today, that awareness may feel especially alive. A thought might return to your mind more than once. A certain situation may hold your attention longer than expected. Even a simple interaction could leave behind a faint echo that continues to unfold in your awareness. Scorpio often recognizes meaning long before the full story reveals itself. March 12th feels like the beginning of that kind of moment. Something subtle begins rising closer to the surface of your life, and Scorpio senses the movement before anyone speaks about it directly. A new understanding slowly gathers shape in the background of your thoughts, like light forming behind a horizon that has not fully brightened yet. This message invites Scorpio to move gently into that space of awareness. Within the quiet patterns of the day, certain signals begin appearing. Some arrive through conversation, some through intuition, and some through the simple feeling that a hidden layer of meaning waits just beneath what everyone else sees. If you feel this energy around you today, leave a comment below. Scorpio 588. Because once Scorpio begins noticing these quiet shifts, the first signs start revealing themselves in ways that are both subtle and unmistakable, and that is where the story truly begins. March 12th carries a tone that Scorpio recognizes almost instantly, even before the mind begins shaping words around the feeling. The air feels slightly different, as if the emotional atmosphere holds a deeper layer waiting to be sensed. Scorpio moves through the morning with a quiet awareness, noticing small shifts in energy that ripple through ordinary moments. A conversation may sound familiar on the surface, yet something within the tone carries a subtle weight. Scorpio senses the pause between words, the glance that lingers a second longer, the quiet meaning resting beneath simple language. In these moments, your awareness begins to expand gently, like a door opening inward toward a deeper understanding. Scorpio often experiences life through layers. The visible story moves along the surface, while beneath it another current flows, filled with signals that reveal themselves through feeling rather than explanation. On March 12th, that inner radar feels especially alive, scanning every interaction, every thought, every shift in emotional texture. You may notice a slight change in your own reactions as well. A situation that once felt clear may suddenly invite a new perspective. A thought returns quietly throughout the day, circling through your awareness with a steady rhythm that feels both curious and meaningful. For Scorpio, moments like this often mark the beginning of recognition. Awareness arrives slowly, piece by piece, as if the mind gathers fragments of a larger picture that gradually begins forming shape. The feeling grows subtle yet steady, a quiet sense that something deeper within your life has begun unfolding. Your intuition moves through these moments with remarkable precision. Scorpio senses the emotional temperature of a room, the sincerity within a voice, the deeper intention hidden inside a simple exchange. This intuitive awareness operates like a finely tuned instrument, responding to energies that exist beneath the visible layer of events. March 12th brings that intuitive intelligence closer to the surface. Feelings become slightly clearer, thoughts feel more focused, and Scorpio begins observing details that previously lived at the edge of perception. A glance, a message, a sudden realization. Each moment holds a trace of meaning waiting to be understood. Through this quiet process, Scorpio gradually senses that a deeper truth begins moving toward visibility. The shift remains subtle, almost like light beginning to form beneath the horizon of awareness. And as Scorpio continues noticing these delicate signals, The first patterns start arranging themselves in ways that gently guide attention toward the next discovery, where certain signals begin to stand out more clearly. Over the past few days, Scorpio may have noticed certain moments returning to awareness with quiet persistence. A conversation lingers in your mind long after it ends, replaying itself in small fragments of memory. The words feel simple on the surface, yet Scorpio senses a deeper tone moving through them, something meaningful waiting within the spaces between sentences. Scorpio carries a natural ability to read the subtle language beneath ordinary interactions. While others focus on what was spoken, Scorpio feels the rhythm behind it, the emotional current flowing underneath the visible exchange. On March 12th, this sensitivity sharpens, guiding Scorpio towards signals that appear small yet carry unusual weight. Perhaps someone's behavior has shifted in a way that feels gentle yet noticeable. A tone of voice softens, a glance holds a second longer, or a message arrives with a feeling that something more exists beneath the words. Scorpio begins observing these details with quiet curiosity, letting each moment settle into place like pieces of a slowly forming picture. Then a thought returns again. It may appear while walking, during a pause between tasks, or in the stillness of the evening when the mind grows calm. Scorpio recognizes that feeling instantly, the quiet sensation that an idea wants to stay close to your awareness. This is how patterns begin forming. A conversation from earlier in the week suddenly connects with something you noticed yesterday. A behavior that once felt random now carries a hint of purpose. Scorpio moves through these realizations with deep attentiveness, allowing each signal to reveal itself naturally. For Scorpio, truth often arrives through patterns rather than sudden announcements. The mind begins linking moments together, a word here, a feeling there, a subtle reaction that once seemed ordinary. Slowly the pieces align, and the deeper meaning beneath the surface begins to glow with quiet clarity. Curiosity grows during this stage. Scorpio senses that these repeating signals carry direction, as if life gently places markers along the path ahead. Each sign feels like a small lantern appearing in the dark, illuminating the next step with soft, steady light. If something in your life has recently started making more sense, share it below. I see the signs. Because once Scorpio begins recognizing these patterns, another layer of the story quietly comes forward, and within that unfolding awareness, a new possibility begins to take shape. As the signals begin forming clearer patterns, Scorpio may start sensing the quiet arrival of something new. The shift feels subtle at first, almost like a gentle opening within the flow of daily life. Scorpio recognizes that feeling, the moment when awareness begins leaning toward possibility. This opportunity may appear in a form that seems simple on the surface. A conversation unfolds with unexpected depth, an idea enters your mind with quiet persistence, or someone shares a thought that continues echoing in your awareness long after the moment passes. Scorpio often experiences these beginnings as small sparks of recognition. Within these small openings, a sense of curiosity begins to grow. Scorpio senses potential inside the moment, like a seed resting just beneath the soil of experience. The idea may feel light at first, yet the energy surrounding it carries a quiet strength, something that invites attention. A new thought might appear while reflecting on recent events. The idea feels almost effortless, as if it arrived through intuition rather than deliberate planning. Scorpio holds that thought gently, allowing it to breathe and expand inside the space of awareness. At other times, the opportunity may arrive through connection. A conversation flows naturally, and suddenly a new direction becomes visible between the lines of what is shared. Scorpio senses the depth behind the words, feeling the subtle promise of what that interaction may grow into over time. This is where the natural attentiveness of Scorpio becomes powerful. Your awareness notices possibilities early, while the moment still feels quiet and undefined. Scorpio senses the energy inside beginnings, recognizing how small doors often lead toward meaningful paths. The opportunity itself may remain modest in appearance. A suggestion, an idea, a brief exchange of thoughts, each carries the quiet spark of potential. Scorpio understands that life often introduces change through these gentle openings rather than through dramatic events. Hope begins to move softly through your perspective. Scorpio senses that something new has entered the landscape of your life, something that invites exploration rather than immediate certainty. Curiosity grows with each passing moment, guiding your attention toward the unfolding path. As this possibility begins forming shape within your awareness, another subtle dynamic starts moving quietly in the background. Because while Scorpio explores this emerging opportunity, someone nearby may already be watching your journey with deeper interest, and that presence begins revealing itself in the next part of the story. As this new possibility begins taking shape around you, Scorpio, another quiet dynamic moves through the background of your life. While you focus on your own path, someone within your environment observes your journey with quiet attention. The observation carries a calm curiosity, like someone studying the steady rhythm of your progress. Scorpio often moves through life with deep focus, placing energy into growth rather than seeking recognition. That steady presence leaves an impression on the people around you. Over time, your discipline, your emotional depth, and your thoughtful approach begin standing out in subtle yet powerful ways. Somewhere nearby, a person has started noticing those qualities. They see the way Scorpio holds steady during uncertain moments. They notice the way your thoughts carry depth, the way your words arrive with intention rather than noise. This kind of observation grows slowly. It begins through small moments, perhaps during a conversation where your insight leaves a lasting impression. Perhaps through your consistency, your calm concentration, or the quiet strength that Scorpio carries naturally. Your presence communicates something meaningful, even during ordinary interactions. Scorpio radiates a certain depth that people feel instinctively. That depth draws attention in ways that feel organic, almost magnetic. For the person observing you, this awareness gradually builds into respect. They begin recognizing the sincerity behind your actions, the focus within your energy. Scorpio's authenticity creates a subtle gravity that encourages others to move closer, to listen more carefully, to understand the person behind the surface. Within that observation, new possibilities begin forming quietly. Sometimes recognition evolves into opportunity. A person who admires your dedication may feel inspired to offer support, collaboration, or a meaningful connection. Scorpio may sense this shift before it becomes fully visible. A tone of voice changes slightly. Someone begins asking deeper questions, showing curiosity about your ideas or your direction. These moments carry a soft warmth, a quiet signal that your journey has begun to resonate with someone nearby. If you feel someone around you has started noticing your progress, share it below. Scorpio rising. Because as Scorpio becomes aware of this attention, another transformation begins unfolding within you. A deeper shift that grows from inside your own awareness, slowly reshaping how you see yourself and the path ahead. While these outer moments unfold around you, Scorpio, something equally powerful begins shifting within. Beneath the surface of daily life, a quiet transformation moves through your inner world. Scorpio senses this change as a deepening awareness, like a calm light slowly spreading across familiar thoughts. Your perspective begins expanding in subtle ways. Situations that once felt routine now carry deeper meaning, and Scorpio observes them with thoughtful attention. The mind moves gently through reflection, exploring emotions, priorities, and the quiet direction your life continues shaping. During this period, Scorpio begins recognizing your own value with greater clarity. The effort you invest, the emotional insight you carry, the patience you bring into difficult moments, all of it forms a clearer picture within your awareness. A sense of self gradually rises to the surface, steady and grounded. This awareness feels calm rather than dramatic. Scorpio notices how certain environments energize your spirit, while other spaces feel heavier and slower. Through these observations, a quiet understanding develops about where your energy thrives and where it gently fades. Your inner voice grows stronger during this stage. Scorpio listens closely to the subtle signals within your thoughts and emotions, allowing each realization to settle naturally. Each moment of reflection reveals another layer of insight, guiding your attention toward what truly matters. There is a maturity within this process that Scorpio understands deeply. Growth appears through experience, through reflection, through the gradual unfolding of personal truth. The more Scorpio listens inwardly, the clearer the landscape of your life begins to appear. You begin recognizing the importance of your time, your focus, and the energy you share with the world. Certain goals begin standing out with brighter clarity, while others soften quietly in the background. Scorpio carries this awareness with calm strength, allowing your path to refine itself naturally. Within this inner transformation, something powerful begins settling into place. Confidence grows quietly, shaped by understanding rather than noise. Scorpio senses that your identity continues evolving, becoming more aligned with the deeper direction of your life. This awareness changes how you move forward. Decisions begin flowing from clarity rather than confusion, from intention rather than habit. Scorpio feels a calm readiness building within your spirit, like a steady current preparing to move through the next stage of your journey. And as this inner transformation continues unfolding within Scorpio, the outer world begins responding in subtle ways, because a moment approaches where the energy around you starts moving with new momentum. After a period of reflection and inner change, Scorpio begins sensing a new movement forming within the flow of life. The energy around you starts shifting with gentle momentum, like a current that slowly gathers strength beneath the surface. Scorpio recognizes this feeling, the quiet moment when everything you have been processing begins finding direction. Small changes begin appearing in the landscape around you. A conversation carries more clarity than before, revealing possibilities that once felt distant. Scorpio notices that certain paths now look more defined, as if the fog surrounding earlier questions has begun lifting. Momentum grows in subtle ways at first. An idea that once lived only in thought now begins moving toward action. Scorpio senses that something within your environment responds to the inner work you have been doing quietly over time. This is the nature of Scorpio energy, transformation that unfolds from deep internal awareness. Experiences, reflections, and emotional insights slowly shape a stronger version of who you are becoming. Through that process, Scorpio develops a rare ability to turn experience into evolution. The effort you invested in understanding yourself begins echoing outward. Relationships may begin feeling more meaningful, carrying deeper understanding and connection. Scorpio senses that certain people respond differently now, as if your energy has shifted into a more grounded presence. Opportunities also begin appearing with greater clarity. Where uncertainty once lived, a direction now starts revealing itself step by step. Scorpio moves toward these openings with calm confidence, guided by the awareness you have cultivated along the way. Hope grows quietly through this stage. Scorpio feels the subtle excitement of entering a new chapter, one shaped by patience, emotional depth, and inner alignment. The journey forward carries a sense of quiet readiness, like the moment before a door opens into a new space. Each step forward feels more intentional. Scorpio understands the rhythm of growth, recognizing how long periods of preparation often lead to moments where movement begins naturally. Within this unfolding momentum, your experiences begin aligning into a clearer path. Confidence flows through your perspective with a steady warmth. Scorpio senses the strength that comes from self-awareness, from understanding the lessons carried through past moments. The path ahead begins to feel more alive, shaped by insight and purpose. And as this movement continues unfolding around Scorpio, another realization gently rises into awareness, a simple truth about this moment in your journey, something worth remembering as March 12th continues revealing its deeper meaning. Scorpio, as this moment settles gently around March 12th, the journey you have been moving through begins to feel clearer within your own awareness. The signals, the quiet reflections, the subtle shifts in energy, each moment forms part of a deeper rhythm unfolding through your life. Scorpio senses that rhythm with a rare kind of sensitivity, as if your intuition listens to something beneath the surface of everyday events. Throughout this time, small moments carried quiet meaning, a conversation, a feeling that lingered longer than expected, a thought that returned softly during the stillness of the day. Scorpio understands how these subtle signals guide awareness towards something deeper, something real that slowly rises into view. March 12th holds that quiet recognition. Within the movement of this day, Scorpio senses a gentle turning point forming in the background of your journey. The path ahead begins revealing itself with more clarity, shaped by the insights and inner growth you have been carrying all along. Transformation flows naturally through Scorpio energy. You move through life with the ability to feel beneath appearances, to recognize the truth that waits patiently beneath the surface. In those moments of awareness, your direction becomes stronger, your steps more intentional, your presence more grounded in the quiet strength of knowing. And perhaps the most powerful part of this moment rests in its simplicity. A realization appears softly, like the first light touching the horizon before sunrise. Scorpio feels it in the stillness, a sense that the path forward continues opening, one subtle step at a time. So as this day continues unfolding, Scorpio, allow that awareness to stay close to your heart. The quiet signals, the growing clarity, the sense of inner alignment, all move together like gentle currents guiding your next chapter forward. If this message resonates with your journey today, leave a comment below. Satu. And if this moment of reflection brought a sense of calm or recognition into your day, you are always welcome to stay connected here. A simple like, sharing this message with someone who may need it, or subscribing to the channel allows these quiet conversations to continue, reaching those who feel drawn to them. For now, Scorpio, take a slow breath and carry this awareness with you. Somewhere within the flow of the coming days, another small signal will appear, and Scorpio will recognize it the moment it arrives.